And I must reiterate that this is one of the few protected strikes and legal strikes that have even been buttressed by the courts. As we do our 64th day, we are under the protection of Employment and Labor Relations Court that gave an order to our employers not to harass, not to threaten, not to intimidate, not to start disciplinary processes, or even stop salaries for clinic officers, because this is a protected strike action. And I must also reiterate that as clinic officers, this is not something we like doing. We derive no pleasure in doing whatever we are doing here. Our most comfortable place is with our patients. But we are here as a result of failure of government to honor the law that they usually ask us to honor. Because there was an order of the court that directed that the Council of Governors and the Ministry of Health should sit with us and we should be able to conclude our collective bargaining agreement. So for the first time, we actually went on strike to force the government to obey an order of the court. And that is why the court continues to protect us. But even as we stand here in Makueni, we want to declare that we are ready to continue with this strike. We are doing our 64th day. We are ready to go to the 100th day. We will go to 150 days. We will go to as long as the government wants and until when the government comes out of their strike. Because we just joined them on strike. They are the ones who went on strike before us. And this strike is about professional dignity. It is about protecting our professional respect. When we are talking about professional dignity, you cannot be having 3 clinic officers. You have one who is on permanent and pensionable, earning their full pay. Then you have another who is labeled UHC, and they are paid half of what the one on PNP is paid. And then you have another labeled county contract and Casio contract, who is even now paid lower than the UHC, which is against the law. And that is discrimination. Our constitution is very clear about discrimination. Article 27 outlaws discrimination to any Kenyan. And in the labor industry, we have the Employment Act. Section 5 indicates that if you have 2 groups of employees who perform work of equal value and you pay them different, that is discrimination at the workplace. So we are here to stand against discrimination because discrimination is indignified. And that is why we are saying we are here to fight for professional dignity. And we have been engaging as was directed by the courts. We have engaged with the ministry. We have engaged with the Council of Governors. But as we stand here today, we have 3 staking issues which are still outstanding. We have the issue of enhancement of the risk allowance. Our risk allowance, we deliberated, we negotiated and agreed in 2021 in a very high-level team, a team that was chaired by the CS of Labor then, CS Chelugui, an interministerial team that was put together by the president himself, President Uhuru Kenyatta, during COVID. And that is where we negotiated for the risk allowance of 15,000, and it was signed by the CS Kagwe. That has not been implemented to date. And we have said we are not signing any return to work agreement without the enhancement of the health risk allowance. The second outstanding issue is the issue of the UHC. And it's a very important issue to us. It is important because the government continues with something that is outlawed. They continue contravening our constitution because the constitution is clear. You cannot have 2 people in the same facility seeing the same patients for the same number of hours, but then you're paying them a different pay and actually have pay of what the others are paying. And even the contracts of most of them have lapsed. We are losing 8,551 employees, and most of our facilities will not actually be able to function. So we also say that we are not signing until we agree that these people must be paid like their peers who they work with. And the last thing, of course, is about the interns. They decided to bring down the internship pay from 115,000 to 50,000 without any justifiable cause. And we know that SRC has no mandate on their own to set salaries for anybody except for the state officers. And they went and contravened the law by setting the salary against a structure that was provided by the Public Service Commission. And so out of the 10 issues that we have, those are the 3 sticking issues. We are very grateful to the Public Service Commission because one of the major issues, which is the career guidelines, is already approved. And we really express our gratitude as the clinical officers to the Public Service Commission. But for those 3 issues that are outstanding, we want to inform the government that we will not go back to work. We shall not sign any return to work agreement until we amicably find a solution to those things. And then we can go back to court and we can file a consent so that we can go back to work.
It is unfortunate in a country for doctors or clinical officers like yourselves to be on the streets. It's very unfortunate. Not politicians, not other cadres, doctors and clinical officers. In fact, one of the things that you are asking, niliuliza, why is this a problem? The 15,000. Nikaambiwa mjasign CBA, nikasema basi simusign tulipe. Because I don't see the problem, really. And if the amount is 900 million, you said, that's a drop in the ocean, considering the amount of money we are spending on tours in the world. Really. It's a small drop in the ocean. And you are playing a critical job in ensuring that you complement the work that the doctors are doing. Now, the principle of equal pay for equal work, it applies. So, first, as the chairman of Legal Affairs, Human Rights in the Council of Governors, I will take your memorandum and present it as is to the council, to the chair, both of the Council of Governors, to Mudome Njuki, Governor of Tharaka Nithi, so that we can get this matter addressed once and for all. The people I've seen here, na nimewaangalia kwa nyuso, are actually young people. These are young people. It's the same thing I saw when I saw doctors on the street in 2017 or 18? 2017. Young people protesting about just getting recognized for equal pay and the work that you do. We are happy mumekuja kwetu kwa sababu mnajua tutawasikiza na tumewasikiza. Kuanzia na mimi gavana wa Makueni na wakili wenyu kwa siku nyingi. Maneno yenyu yatatatuliwa. Hiyo mambo ya wage bill tulisema kesi baadaye. Tutafanya hiyo kesi baadaye. Kwa hivyo as you agitate for better pay, nataka muanze kusema county zipatiwe pesa nyingi sana. Kwa sababu sisi ndo tunawaajiri. Members of National Assembly wakijiongezea, nyinyi hamsemi huko kuna shida, kwa sababu hizo ndo tunafaa kupatiwa tuongezee mshahara. Because you are the people who are helping Kenya remain alive. So whatever we can do from our side, tutawasaidia ili musivaa hizi vitu kwa barabara, musivaa hospitali. I suppose we know so bwana. So count on my support. Mutakuja ku benchmark Makueni, I can tell you. Mtaenda mrudi mkuje Makueni mkute sisi we are going to lead the way, all the way in ensuring that our clinical officers get whatever they deserve. Ladies and gentlemen, the resource pool ile tunatumia haijaongezeka. I'm still going to answer audit queries on the promotions. Na hiyo niko tayari kujibu. Let me tell you what is fortunate. The Auditor General has for the first time audited health facilities. One of the first recommendation is hiring of more staff. Sasa hiyo nataka tukutane huko na Moses Otieno Kajwang na Ochotsi wakiniuliza maswali tuseme basi hii ndio audit, basi mbadilishe hii sheria kusema 44 35 na watu wanahangaika. so that then we can have a country that is moving together. I have seen this memorandum and I've seen the questions that have been addressed. And even from the county assembly side, mukifika pale kwa speaker atawaambia Makueni has progressed the conversations about clinical officers. Now, if nobody has ever appreciated you, take it from me, Mûtula Kilonzo Junior Makueni, we appreciate the work that you are doing.